Hey gardeners, thank you so much for watching this video. My name is Ciearra and I garden in Ohio Zone 5. So if you're not subscribed, please subscribe so we can keep gardening together. So in this video, I am doing some maintenance in the garden, doing some what I call garden chores, those little things that you don't feel like doing, but you got to do. And then, you know, you just kind of let them all pile up and then you do them all in one foul swoop. So right now I am in what I call the elephant ear jungle, and it was windy that day, and I really love to see my elephant ears blowing in the wind. Like, it's the funnest thing to me. So like if it's windy out and I catch it, I will run out there with my phone to try to get video of them just blowing all over the place. So you can see I'm cutting off yellow leaves. Yellow leaves are normal for elephant ears. The older foliage dies, and that's the same for any plant. The older the foliage, the shorter the lifespan it has. So oftentimes I get questions about yellow leaves, and the first thing I'll ask is if it's an older leaf, you know, and if it is, that's a normal process for a plant. If it's new foliage that's coming out that is yellow or is yellowing shortly after, unfurling or just, you know, growing out. So not every leaf unfurls like an elephant ear. So just be aware of that. If something is new and it comes out yellow or yellow shortly after, then you know you've got some sort of issue that you need to diagnose. Right now I am staking up this new leaf that is really, really large. From the windstorm, it kind of whipped this leaf, and the stem is so long, it was hard for it to kind of right itself, so it kind of just hung over. So I'm just propping it up with the bamboo stake, and this video was filmed probably last weekend, which was close to a week ago now, and this bamboo stake is still there. This leaf is still doing well. I'm not gonna take the stake away. I'm gonna leave it there because I like having that foliage right there held up, structure wise. And this leaf is super big too. You probably can't tell from the video, but I'm guessing that leaf is about almost 3 feet long. So yeah, it's crazy. Like the elephant ears that are right behind me are huge, and then towards the left they gradually decrease in size, and I think that's because of the sun. The smaller ones get less sun, and then the bigger ones get a lot more sun. So over here is behind our really long bed with the telephone pole. There's a lot of just randomness back there. Right now I'm cutting and pruning some dahlias that flopped over, but behind those dahlias it slopes downhill, and then there's a lot of like, just, I don't even know what the plants are, but I almost think of it like weeds, or you know, like weird shrubs and things that just have no like there's just no ID that I can just find on them. A lot of this popped up after the pine tree was cut down. So my plan for this space is just to gradually plant it up. I definitely want to add some things that get tall, that have, you know, some form of color, whether it's foliage or it's blooms. Some fall foliage plants would look really good in that space. And the fact that it goes downhill, I'll have to think of things that do get tall. But yeah, I really love the way this garden is turning out this year. The first year we moved in, we didn't really do much but clear out some old dead things, things that just didn't look right with the space. And then the second year for us here, which was last year, what we did was basically the same thing. We moved some plants around, talked a lot about the future of the garden, and then we planted some things. I like added a ton of plants last year. What I thought was a ton last year, this year, like I I've probably planted about 1,000 plants or more, just based off of everything that I started from seed, everything that I bought in store, and then everything that I got with my Proven Winners partnership. So it's just like I have been busy, and around July I started to kind of burn out and kind of fizzle. And then, mid-July to early August, we are thinking about back to school and all that entails. And then we just have had so much going on, and everyone's on different schedules, and I am basically everything right now. So, I'm the driver, the mom, the groundskeeper, the housekeeper, and it's just a lot. And then everyone's on a different schedule, so I'm just kind of running all over the place, and a lot of times just running empty. So getting out in the garden and taking care of some things is therapeutic to me. It makes me feel good to see my yard looking great, to see flowers blooming, to see things looking good. I don't know about you guys, but when the house is a wreck, cleaning it up like clears my mind. Like, it makes me feel like I can just tackle anything when the house is clean. It brings me peace, So right now I'm taking some stuff to the compost bin. I don't think I've shared the compost bin here on YouTube, but it's just back behind the garage, and it's doing okay. It's not really composting like I expected it to, and I think it's because of the shade. So I think it'll be a slower composting pile, because I've found several plants in the compost pile that have been in there for months that have like started growing again, like this Alocasia regal shield that I dumped a couple months ago because it kept getting spider mites. And if you know anything about elephant ear type plants, they are prone to spider mites. Spider mites love them, and it just seems like a never-ending battle. So over here, I am cutting down the sunflowers. Actually, it's just one left right now. This actually was a really bad space to put sunflowers and to put corn. It seemed like a good idea at the time, but because the beds are so short, the sunflowers are so tall, and the corn too, they're very like needy. So like it was difficult to keep them happy, to keep them watered. And then when the wind came through, it just kind of bent everything over. I had all kind of like twist ties and string and things to just hold them up, and then I just eventually gave up. It was just too much to just keep fighting. So this little makeshift trellis that I built earlier this year is not substantial for what I put on it. So I had gourds growing on it, cucumbers, everything was leaning on this trellis, and it has kind of snapped. So I'm gonna have to figure something else out for next year. Now I'm over here pruning these tomatoes. Now it's getting past the time where I need to start taking these guys out. I mean, they're everywhere. Production is slowing down. They're not ripening quick enough. Like it's such a long span between ripe tomatoes on most of the plants actually. So yeah, there's just so much to do. Like when you're initially planting things and they're so small, and then it takes like 30 days for things to get big and start you know, producing fruit. It's just, things just get out of hand so quickly. And then there's just so much to do, which I enjoy it. Like if I can get a time span where no one needs anything and no one's bothering me, like I can sit out there and work all day long. Like I can just be outside just doing stuff and be perfectly content. So I have a hose. I actually have 3, maybe even 4. I think it's 4 hose links. Only 2 work. So there's 2 connected to the house. There's 1 connected to the garage, and there's to the outside of the garage, and there's 1 inside the garage. I don't think the garage ones are hooked up. We've never tried to turn them on. I'm kind of scared to. I don't know what would come out of there. But yeah, I would love to get some more hoses hooked up all around the house. Now in this area actually was so cute this year. We had the corn growing, had some tumbling Tom tomatoes, had tons of pots all around this little ladder here, and it really just was such a joy to watch this area transform. Now things are just kind of like I said before, they're slowing down. They're dying back. Like the corn is just done. Like it is brown. There's nothing else going on over there. So that area is going to get taken down soon. It would already be like, I would have already taken it out, but I still have some gourds over there that I'm trying to let, you know, grow. So yeah. And the raised beds, like you guys, I've had so much trouble after pulling the garlic and trying to replant fall crops. The groundhogs have been in these beds chomping down everything. Like I just bought a few like cauliflower, cabbage, I think broccoli too, some starts from a nursery nearby, and the groundhogs came and like chomped them all up. And then if it's not the groundhogs, then it's the cabbage moths. And if it's not the cabbage moths, it's the rabbits. So I ended up building like a little makeshift like cage around these raised beds, and it has worked really, really well. The only thing I'm still battling are the cabbage moths. And what you see me doing here, I'm picking off any sort of caterpillars that I see. And I do this just about every day. I'll go out, look for caterpillars, like squish them or fling them off into the flower bed. But yeah, gardening is a lot. Like there is a lot to keep up with, and it's not always going to be perfect. It's not always going to be easy, and it's definitely not like a clean job to have, like, but it's rewarding. Like it is so rewarding to see your efforts. You can actually see your hard work in the plants that you are taking care of. So this is what everything looks like right now. We got lots of powdery mildew, lots of cabbage moths, lots of tired tomato plants, lots of tired herbs. Like everything is kind of just trying to hang in there. So I think that one of my next videos will be taking down the tomato jungle. I'm just trying to let what's left ripen. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.